Okay, welcome back, students. Uh, the previous video is ended up to the list, looping over the list. Okay, we'll continue that. Here, the looping over the list is we are using a for loop to repeat through the list. Okay, list is the numbers, and every time it takes a one by one number into the I variable, and that I variable value will print with the print statement, print I. So here for the for loop, we don't have any initialization value, ending value, and any step value. Okay, because the list itself, it uses the starting value as the starting index, ending value as the end index, and step value as the next indexed element in the list. So we need not to specify any starting, ending, and step values for the for loop. Okay, so here the print I comma is it prints the elements in the same line with the comma separation. Okay, without giving new lines for the each and every element. Okay, so output is 1 2 3 4 5. It shows all the elements in the single line. Okay, so if we remove the comma, it by default the print is ended with the new line, so it gets a new line for the each and every element. So next, updating and deleting a list. Okay, now here the lists are the mutable elements. That is, we can change the elements and we can delete the elements in the list. So mutable is nothing but can be modified, can be modifiable. Okay, so we can modify the elements in the list. So we can do the appending of our elements, we can do the modification of the elements, we can do the deletion of the elements in the list. Okay, okay. Next. Say for example, there is a list A with the numbers 4, 7, 6, 8, 9. Print the A, shows all the elements. Say if I want to update the second element, that is second indexed element, then A of 2 equals to 45. That is second indexed value is the 6. So 6 is changed to the 45. Now we'll get the list with the updated values. Print A. Say if you want to modify a set of elements in the list, then A of 2 colon 5, that is from the third element to the last element I want to update. So 10, 11 and 12, that is 6, 7, 8. Sorry, 6, 8, 9 are modified as 10, 11 and 12. So your starting list is the 4, 7, 6, 8, 9. After changing the third element as the 45, we'll get the elements as 4, 7, 45, 8, 9. Next, whenever you change the 3 element from the third index to the last, then you'll get the elements as 4, 7, 10, 11, 12. So like this, we can modify the elements of the list. So by giving the required index and the required value, we can modify the list elements. Next, say if you want to do the deletion of any element. Okay, for that we can use a del, del. For that, say for example, we have a list is 4, 7, 6, 8, 9. Print the elements in the list. It prints all the elements in the list. I want to delete the 3 index, that is 3 indexes, fourth element. I want to delete the fourth element. It deletes the fourth element is the 8. And resulting list is 4, 7, 6, 9. Okay, del is the I will use to delete the element in the list. Next, concatenation of two lists. We can use the plus operator to combine the two lists as a single list. Say if I have a list that 4, 7, 6, 8, 9 and B is a list with the 1, 2, 3. Now I want to combine these two lists and form as a single list. Okay, now it forms as a 4, 7, 6, 8, 9 and then 1, 2, 3. That is first A list and B list is appended to the A. So I'll get the first A list elements, then B list elements. Repetition of the two lists. Okay, we can repeat the elements of the list n number of times using the asterisk operator. Okay, that is we can repeat the list of elements for our required number of times. So the same elements are once again added to the list. So we have already the elements are 4, 7, 6, 8, 9. A into 2, that is A list elements are repeated for 2 times. Okay. Now I will get the resulting list as 4768. Sorry, this is a wrong. 47689 and 47689. For 2 times you'll get the same elements. Okay. 9 is not given. It's maybe printed error. Sorry. Okay. And membership in list. That is to check whether any required element is there in the list or not. We can use the membership operators. The membership operators are in and not in. In is to check the existence of the value. Not in is to check the value is not available in the list. So if I have a list, is the A is 47689 and I want to check the value 7 is there in the list or not. X is the 7. Okay, print X in A. So if X is in the A, then it gives a true. Okay, otherwise false. Next, Y is the, I am taking another value as Y as the 10. Y not in A. That is, if the Y value is not in the A, then you will get the true, otherwise false. So both are the true because 7 is in the list, so it is a true. 10 is not in the list, so it is also true. Next, aliasing of the list. So aliasing is nothing but creating another name for the list. Okay, so we have already one existing list with some particular name. We can assign the name to the, we can assign the list to the another variable, okay, which is created as a alias for the existing list. So whenever you modify the one list, it reflects to the another list also. So there are the two names for the same list. Okay. If you modify the x or if you modify the y, both it reflects the same set of the elements. Okay. So we can write it as x equals to y. That is our y equals to x. So x is already created list and now we want to assign that to the y equals to x. Okay, now both variables are refers to the same set of elements. So A is the 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 elements. X equals to A. Now X is created as the alias, that is another name for the A list. So if you print the A or X, it gives the same number of elements. Now A of 1 equals to 90. It changes the second index value to the 90. So after changing the value, whenever you print the values, it gives us the 90 in the second place. So both A and X, both the lists are updated. See here, the 20 is replaced by the 90. Okay. So this is the aliasing. So it doesn't be created as a copy. Okay. It just creates another name for the your variable. So for the copy, we have another function in the list as a copy function. Using that, we can make a copy of the list. But here it just assigns another name for the list. Okay. Cloning of the list. Okay, here this is the copy of the list. Okay, that is you can copy the one list of elements into the another variable. So which creates as a copy as a separate variable so that whenever you modify the first list, it doesn't modify the second list. So now if you have a already existing list X with the five elements or 6 elements, and I am copying the values to the y variable y list, then it copies all the values of the X into the y so that whenever you modify the X, it doesn't modifies the y. So this we can do by the cloning, that is copying of one list into the another list. Okay, for this we are using a colon operator. A is a list with the 10 to 60 values. X equals to A within the square brackets colon. That is there is no starting index, ending index. The starting index default is the 0. Ending index default is the length of the list. So it takes all the elements from the list and those are as it is the copied to the X. So now X and A has the same elements, but A of 1 is updated as the 90, okay, which is not reflected to the X variable. It is just updated in the A variable. Okay. So this is called as a cloning or copying of a list into the another list. Okay, these all are the methods which are available to work with the list. First method is index, to find the index of a required element in the list. Okay, it gives us the first index or first occurrence index of the X value in the list. So these all are used with the list variable dot the method. Okay, because list class, these all are the methods in the list class. So we can use the variable of the list dot the method name. The second method is append of your required value. This is to add a element to the list. Okay, we can add at the ending of the list. Next, another method is the insert. Okay, this is to insert a value in the list that is at the ith index. Okay, so at the ith index in the list, we can add the X variable value. Okay. So next is the copy method, which copies all the elements of the list into the another list. Extend is we can add the one list of elements to the another list. Okay, this is to append the elements to the another list. Without appending a one by one value, we can append the complete list to the another list. Okay. Next is the count function. Okay, this counts the X value, that is the value of a X variable in the list. Okay, if it is having a more than once in the list, it counts that number of occurrences of the X value in the list and it gives a count of occurrences. Remove function is to remove a element from the list. Okay, this we can do by the del function, del, or we can do by the remove. It removes the element from the list. Next is the pop function. Okay, this is to delete the ending element of the list. Pop is just like a stack function. Okay, we can remove the last element of the list. Okay. Next is the sort function. This is to sort the elements in the list in an ascending order. And this sort function also has a parameter, one of the attribute as reverse. Okay, this is by default false. If you are giving reverse equals to true, okay, then you will get the sorted elements in the reverse order. It just sorts the elements in the current list, but it doesn't return the sorted values. Next, reverse function is to reverse us the list element. We can do it by the sort function with the reverse parameter, or we can do by the reverse function. Okay, next is the clear. It deletes all the elements from the list. And next is max function to find the maximum element in the list. And min function to find out the minimum value from the list. For these two, we don't require the list variable because these functions are not in the list structure, but these are the common functions so that we can use without the list variable. Okay, these functions you just practice on the ID of the editor of the Python, and you will be get advantage of these functions in our programs. Okay, so that whenever you require these functions, we need to use them in the programs of the Python. Okay, here we can create a list as a nested list also. That is, we can add the different lists as the elements in the another list. So whenever you want to access the nested list, first we need to give an index for the outer list, then we can give the index for the inner list element. K of 2 of 1, that is A of 2 indexed value, and second value of the third indexed value. Okay, as in the same way we can go for the comprehensions. This we will continue in the next class.